you're aware of all the grooming scandal and everything that's going on. Is that a big part of the reason why you're here?
Yeah, it is as well, but it's also to support like the voices of like detransitioners, desisters, and just to support the cause of radical feminism. That's what I truly believe in.
Okay, so what is radical feminism to you?
To me, it's ensuring that women have rights, and those rights are sex-based rights, and you can't shy away from that. As soon as you kind of like give an inch, like people against those rights will take a mile, and we've seen that happen. We've seen it happen with like bathroom bills in America. We've seen it happen in this country as well. And for me, I just think that there's been too much of an encroachment on women's rights, and now we need to kick back and stand up.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Are you in agreement that there should be a public inquiry?
Yeah, absolutely. There has to be. Like, I agree with what Kellie-Jay has said in that there's obviously a reason they don't want to do a public inquiry. There's going to be a lot of like corruption that comes out of that, I think, and there has to be a public inquiry. There needs to be, in order to ensure that these victims get the justice that they deserve.
Do you think that at all this is a cultural issue? Because obviously the main thing that people are talking about with all these grooming scandals, it seems to be predominantly Pakistani Muslim men that are committing these crimes. Do you think that people are right when they say that people say that are just far-right racists, or do you think that there's actually some truth to the statistics?
I think there's some truth to it. Like, it's one of those things that people don't want to admit for fear of being labelled either far-right or a xenophobe or a racist, but those sorts of labels are just thrown out to shut down the conversation rather than to have those conversations. And regardless of what the outcomes of those like inquiries are and of those conversations, we need to have them.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Do you have any thoughts that you'd like to share on the general scale of the disaster that has been the Labour government and Keir Starmer at all?
I mean, not really. I just think that we're heading towards more and more of this, like, this same sort of wokeism, and it's just going to keep us pushing down the wrong path, and we need to shift the Overton window back to where it should be.
Yeah, I was wondering, because we've touched on a little bit about the trans issue and values and everything like that. I was wondering, have you heard of people like Blair and Buck Angel?
Yeah, I'm aware of those.
And obviously their channel is about exposing the woke, and they themselves, even though they're transgender, they get called transphobes. What's your view on that?
I think it's silly. Like, it really is silly. There's only one way that you can kind of be like in with the cult of trans, and it's like you either follow them to the complete extent, and if you even go like a little bit back on what they're trying to espouse, they'll cast you out in a heartbeat. Like, I've had that happen to me. Yeah, like, I'm a detransitioner, so that's part of why I'm here to support this, because I'm like a living example of the damages that gender affirming care can do to a person.
Would you mind telling us a little bit of your story?
Yeah, sure. So when I was a lot younger, I presented to my GP, gender dysphoria. I was whisked off to the Leeds Gender Identity Clinic, shoved onto hormones, because I was told if I don't take hormones and I don't transition, I'll probably kill myself. And that's all you can, when you're told that as a child, as like a young person, that's the only thing you think that is the right thing, because these adults are telling you, these trusted adults, these professionals are telling you this is the right thing to do, so you just go with it. Of course you do. And then it's only taken until recently where I was like, this is so wrong, it's not right, I'm poisoning my body, I'm taking liberties, I'm making women compromise for my own security, and that's not okay. It just wasn't okay. And I don't want to see that happen to other trans people, other people that have gender dysphoria. There's other ways of treating it. There's gender exploratory therapy, which is amazing. There's an organisation called Beyond Trans, that offer gender exploratory therapy to young people and to adults, to get them away from this gender affirming care model and to make sure that they're not, harming themselves with either surgical intervention or medical intervention. Yeah, they're a fantastic organisation.
Oh, that's really, really great.
Yeah.
I mean, another thing that kind of gets me about the whole, the trans wokeism is the documented targeting of neurodivergent people.
Yeah.
Like my little brother, he's nearly 10 years old, and he's autistic.
Yeah.
And there was one time where we bought him a little Elsa dress because he liked the blue sparkles.
Yeah, of course.
He wore it for one day,
Yeah.
and then that was it. But I know that if he was in mainstream school, he'd have been being told that he was in
the wrong body, exactly.
Like that.
It's horrible. It's really horrible. And I think, mentioning that on neurodivergency, I was listening to a podcast. I think it's Dr. Az Hakim, who wrote a book about transition stories for like young female transitioners and how it's harmed them, and then for detransitioners. And he was mentioning that in his practice, I think it is him, I apologise if I'm wrong, the majority, if not all of the cases that he dealt with of people with gender dysphoria were all neurodivergent. It is targeted, it's horrible.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for giving
No
us some
worries,
of your
thank
time.
you for letting me talk.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Thanks so
Have
much.
a great day.
It was a great day to start off the live.